Boom, we are live.
We're live.
What's happening, YouTube? What's
What's
happening,
up?
Chris? What's up, Chris?
Man, I haven't been on here in months.
You
I
had to
haven't,
redo all your settings.
yeah, I haven't done a podcast. I have hardly done any posts. The
Yeah, and
season's the season's been, just
mhm.
dragging on for me and uh I mean, it's been a good season. I haven't landed a buck.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that this evening here. It is snow. How's the weather up your place right now, Chris?
So I got about 8 inches on the ground and it's coming down now again.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking they're talking 1 to 3 inches tonight,
Yeah.
on top of what we've already got. So we'll see how it ends up in the morning. We'll see. May
Yeah.
not have church in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah, it's snowing pretty good, but I gotta get up at 3:45 because I gotta be at work at 5 to plow. What's up, Matt? Thanks for
Mm.
coming in. What's up, Mom? Thanks for coming in,
You
Mom.
got to plow on a Sunday?
Yeah, we're going in tomorrow and plowing, so
Really?
we don't have to do it as much on Monday because of school.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we start at 5 in the winter, and
Gotcha.
5, and the kids come in at 7, so that gives us 2 hours to do the whole district.
Okay.
So we're gonna go in tomorrow.
Hey, there's Miss
Excuse
Bernie.
me. Yeah, we're gonna get some OT tomorrow for about 5 hours, and then I'm gonna come home, and then my wife has a list of stuff for me to do. I was supposed to do stuff today,
Oh,
but after hunting today and coming home, and after everything that I did and come
yeah.
home, I had a headache. I was tired. I sat on the chair, and I ended up waking up 2 hours later.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah. Well,
let's
let's
talk
talk.
about our hunts.
Yeah, let's talk about the season. Let's talk about our hunts today. Then you got it last night, or did you get it today?
I just got about
Yeah, this
4 o'clock this afternoon. Yeah.
okay. You got yours. I went out
Yeah.
this morning and spooked a buck and doe. She blew for almost 10 minutes straight. I spooked her so bad. Yeah, I would have popped her. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, So yeah, so you as you saw towards the thumbnail, I got a buck today on the last day of the PA rifle season.
Nice.
I'm not going to say what I got because that's why there's a black dot over it with a question mark because I'm going to make a video, so I don't want people to know what I got, and that'll ruin the
Ah,
video. So what's up, Dad? Thanks for coming
next
in.
dead. Yep.
So, but
Big T.
Chris, I want you to. Hey, Sharina, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Please hit that like button if you haven't, guys. And I don't know if you can. I don't think you can hype the video on StreamYard right now. I think it has to go into YouTube before you can hype it. Did you ever see that? Did you see hyping and all that? Good night,
No,
Munchie. What's up?
no, I
Yeah,
haven't
it's like
got
a
into
like
all that.
when you hit the like button, a thumbs up on a video. If you scroll over, there's a hype button, and I
Oh,
guess if you hype it, it ranks stuff
huh.
in the algorithm, and it's supposed to be the more hypes you get, the better, and it pushes it out to more people. So I
Oh,
always tell people to like and hype now, like and hype,
oh,
like and hype.
yeah,
So
that's cool.
yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
I haven't.
So
Like I said, I haven't been on a whole lot in the last couple of months.
yeah, all right. So do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
It's up. My let's. I'll go first because yours
You
is
go
probably more
first.
exciting. Because I want to.
More
I want
exciting.
to. Yeah, mine's not real
Hey,
exciting. I went out
yeah.
this morning. I got up this morning. I went down to the shanty on my own property, and as we always talk about, it's it's uh it's oh geez, what's the word I'm looking for? Urban. Ooh, I lost it
Yep.
there. It's
Urban
urban for
hunts.
me. It's urban for me right here because I can see the back of a couple of camps out the one window. And the one and only deer I saw come down over the hillside and walked alongside of a camp. So I can't shoot that direction. Plus, my shanty is past the 150 zone, safety
Hmm.
zone. So I'm
Hmm.
good that way, but I just can't shoot that direction. So that was the one and only one I saw. And I had to use the restroom, so I came in early. So, so lunchtime come around, and we're sitting at the dining room table eating lunch, and I'm I have a set of French doors there looking out through the side yard out into the woods, and
Hmm.
I could see deer moving down, going down towards my shanty, and I'm not in the shanty. And like I'm telling the wife, I'm like, I'm sitting here in the house eating, and I should be down there in the woods.
Yep.
She's like, well, you know,
Hey, Dave. Thanks for coming in.
She's like, whatever, do what you want to do. And I'm like, well, it's so daggone cold. It was like 17 degrees. I
It was
said,
cold out
I'm
this
gonna
morning, boy.
I'm gonna wait and just go out later,
Yeah.
whatever.
Thanks for coming in, Dave.
So I marched down there. I don't know what it was. It was about 3:15 or something. I jumped in the shanty and I didn't have to wait long. Uh, about an hour into it, it was probably about 4:15 or so. Um, I It's an elevated shanty that I built. Uh, I've got way too much money in it. it's
Yeah,
it's
it looks
real,
like the Taj Mahal. It's all
it
nice and
yeah.
finished and
It's it,
everything.
it's real cushy inside
Don't you have
and
a heater in there too, like a heat,
yeah,
like a
I
furnace and stuff? No, I'm just kidding.
I've got a wall heater in there. It's propane. Uh,
Howdy, city boy. Howdy,
it's
city
city
boy and
boy,
Ted.
a jailbait. But so yeah, I'm just I never even sat down. I stand in there and I've got the heated vest on, and I got my hands in my pockets, the gun's leaning in the corner, and I stand in the middle because I got a window on every wall.
Hmm.
So I just stand in the middle and I just basically just turn around and look out every window, just keep circling. And finally I peeked out the one window and I could see a deer standing there, and I was looking around it, and I seen another one appear and another one, and I was like, "Holy smokes! I got a whole bunch of them coming here." And so I hurry up and I pull. I have stools. I pulled the wooden bar stool over in front of the window, and I had an orange cap, and I set it on the windowsill and laid the gun on it. And
Nice.
don't you know, I leaned into that gun a little bit, and the orange cap fell out the window while the deer was standing underneath me. And I
No
don't know if
way.
they saw it or not, but they got jittery. They was
Yeah,
getting jittery.
yeah.
They was jittery anyhow because they came right in and they
Were they
stopped.
feeding on the food plot? Were they feeding?
No, no,
No.
no. They came off the neighbor's property like somebody bumped them possibly.
Probably pushing or
And
something last day
yeah,
drives.
yeah, it looked like they got pushed and they stopped because when they get to my property, they calm down. I don't know what it is. They just chill out and they look around and they watch their back trail, when they get to my
Hmm.
property. Because when you get to my property, then they can cross the road and stuff and go over across the road.
Yeah.
So I think they just know it's safe over there, except for me and the shanty.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, they just got real calm. And city boys bring the heat, yeah, for sure. So they moved in and they was watching their back trail, and I picked out the biggest one I could see, and she was facing butt to me, looking away,
Hmm.
and I was going to try to shoot her in the back of the head. She was only
Yeah.
like 60 yards or so, but this is the deer that I'm going to be donating
Yeah.
um, from the church. The church and I is collaborating on that, and we're going to donate that and have it butchered and give it away to
Nice.
needy
Yep.
family and community. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm happy to do that. But I didn't want to look like a jerk and shoot it in the head, and take it to
Not
the
bringing it.
butcher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of idiotic. So
You would have
I
been
went,
good with the meat, though. Wouldn't have
yeah,
wasted any meat, but
wouldn't
I get
wouldn't
the
waste
idea
it.
of it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just waited a couple seconds, and they were starting to get a little jittery, and the big doe she turned to go away, and I stopped her. I gave her a old, "Meow,"
Yep.
she froze, and I just put one in the armpit, and
Hmm.
they took off, and I seen fur behind
Hmm.
her,
Okay.
just when I shot in the snow, just like,
What are you
big
using?
7 mag at like 60 yards,
Hmm.
she didn't have a chance, and there was
Hmm.
blood instantly, and I seen them run off, and I seen her go, what do you call it, head over tin cups or whatever,
Yep.
and the ones that were with her skidded to a halt and was like, "Hey, what happened to her?" And they went off another direction because it scared them because she went down, and
Yep.
it was it was fun, I mean, and the best part is I don't have to butcher this dang thing now. I can just give it
Hmm.
away, you know. But hey,
Yep.
I mean, I mean, there's people out there that say, well, why are you hunting them if you're not eating them? Well, somebody's going to eat it. You know,
No,
believe
no,
me.
that's a good thing. I
It,
do the
it,
same thing.
it's
Like you
been
and I both,
donated. Yeah.
I don't donate it to a church, but I have a list before the hunting season that calls me and says, "Hey, are you going to get a deer today? Are you going to get a deer today?" And or this year, I'm like, "Yep, I'll put you on the list." So I
Yeah.
got 3 people on the list, and Theo's doe went to one lady who's been getting deer off me for the last 10 or 15 years.
Great.
They love it. And then I got an old buddy from work years ago. He's a health fanatic. He loves eating the deer meat.
Yeah.
And then I have another guy by my house here who they can't hunt. He's a little bit older. So I have 3 people in line, and I could probably get more, but just 3 because I want to make sure I at least get them 3 deer. So I donated to those families,
Mm-hmm.
and they use it up, and it's like the
Yeah.
lady says she loves it.
Well,
It's
I
healthy.
already gave one away.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the second one.
Yeah.
I had one still in the freezer from last year,
Mm-hmm.
and the pastor asked me if I had any extra, and I said, "Yeah, I got a whole deer in a box,
Yeah.
in the
Mm-hmm.
freezer." And he's like, "Do you want to donate it?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Yep.
So I gave that one away already, and then now this one. So
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So you got
But
to get another one for yourself now.
well, I got that one in archery, and we can talk
Mm-hmm.
about that. But
Yep.
to anybody that's in that chat, if they want to go see that deer, it's pretty big doe. Over on Instagram, City Sticker Chris on Instagram. And while you're there, you might as well just subscribe too. But yeah, go check out that big doe.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, we could talk about that first one I got and
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
debacle I got into. Oh my Lord, I got into so much trouble this year.
I know.
Because here's the problem, guys. I am not a crossbow hunter normally, but this year I've been having so much trouble with my shoulder and my elbow. And once it dropped below like 45 degrees, I was having trouble shooting my bow. And it's just aching in the cold. So
That's
I
very cool,
decided,
Matt. Matt said that's just something he said. Sorry to interrupt you. He goes, my first deer goes to Hunters for the Hungry, which is awesome. And then when I harvest 2 deer for myself, I start harvesting others for those in need. I also
yes,
donate hogs all year round. That's awesome.
nice. So
My
say
dad,
this, my last
sorry.
of Chris,
There-
I know he is a good man. Super fun to listen to him because of he's down to earth. Yeah, for sure, man.
Did you see my dad's
What
comment?
he say?
It's up
Good
on the
Christmas
screen.
gift. They got dough in a box. Yeah, no
No, in
doubt,
a
no
box.
doubt.
Now,
But yeah,
now-
I was having real trouble earlier in the season. Like I said,
I know.
I was fooling around with the kids at church during vacation Bible school,
You're getting
and
too old.
I did a head first slide or something, but I jammed my elbow or
What's up,
my
John?
shoulder up. Hi, John. Yeah, I jammed my shoulder up, and then I've been having real trouble with this tennis elbow stuff welding at work, and it's just been real hard to shoot the bow. So I decided to go with a crossbow this year. My wife won a crossbow at the church game dinner last year, so I broke out the crossbow and sighted it in with field points. And I mean, the thing was doing a really nice job with field points. So I thought, well, I'll just screw on a
Hey, Phil.
expandable and go hunting, right?
Nope. That ain't happening.
Wrong idea. I assumed that broadhead was going to hit with a field point hit because it's the same kind of broadhead that I use out of my bow, but my vertical bow, the broadheads hit where my field point does, probably because it's a lot slower than the crossbow.
Remember we talked about that, but
Right,
remember
right.
your son had a little issue with his shot, and was it because of the same reason you think?
Well, we have to shoot his bow yet and see if that is the issue, even though it's about 100 feet a second or 100 feet per second slower than the one I'm shooting.
Yeah, but it's still shooting over 350. Yeah,
it still could be a problem for him.
It is. I think it is. I think
we're gonna shoot his too and see if it's an issue.
Yep.
So what I ended up doing, hunters don't play tennis, Chris. Try that story again, bro. It's definitely not tennis, brother. It's from welding and holding that lead and stuff. I just 35 years of holding a lead. I'm just aching. But anyhow, yeah. So my assumption was horrible. I should have never made that assumption. I should have tried shooting broadheads and making sure they were hitting where I wanted, but I did not. I'm not. I'm going to claim stupidity over that one
I wouldn't
because
claim that. I would just say maybe
I just didn't know, basically, you know.
well, see, when I got my crossbow, it's shooting over 450 feet per second, and the pro that I go to, the what do they call it, the shop pro, you know, Ultimate Outdoors here in PA.
Right.
He's like, do not use a fixed broadhead and do not use an expandable with any kind of wings that stick out, because a crossbow flying that fast, that no matter what, if something's sticking out, it planes too much. So he said use the Rages. The Beast broadheads you can use, they stick out a little bit too. So I was wondering about the Beast broadheads myself, but the Rages seem to fly the best. The Rages, the G5s do work good, but going that fast, once you shoot them, they break. The blades were breaking on them for me when I was shooting them. So I stopped using, but G5 was my go-to at first, and then I went to the Rage. I used the tri-pans, the no collar tri-pans, which worked the best for me. Theo used both of my Beast broadheads this year, and he nicked the one, and then he shot that other one, but we didn't get it. Now, it looked like it did some damage to that second one, because you could see the results of what was as he was walking away, what happened to him. I don't know what happened to that thing. It still gets on my nerves talking about it. But anyway, I went back to my Rage broadheads again for me, and that's what I'm going to use, because I got like 3 packs of them, so I'm going to use them up first.
So you're shooting the tri-pans?
I'm shooting a tri-pan,
or the hypodermic.
The tri-pans. I have a little bit of everything, Chris, when it comes to the Rages. I have the tri-pans, and then I have the
I have the original 2.0 Rages that have the cutting point on them.
Yeah.
And so I got a practice broadhead
kit with it. Yeah, with it. It comes with it. Yeah.
With it. So that's what I went out and I bought a layered foam target and put a chunk of rubber matting behind it, because I knew it was going to go through that. I mean, nothing's going to stop 400 and some plus feet, you know. Nah. So anyhow, I shot it in with those Rages and with that practice point, but I did not shoot a real broadhead yet. So I'm hoping the real broadhead shoots the same as the practice point.
And it's really close. It's really
there close. Again, I shouldn't assume, but before I take it out again, I am going to shoot one of them. And the good thing about it is they still make that broadhead now, but it's the no collar one. It's the same 2-inch cut, the same cutting head, you know, cut on contact head, but it has a no collar. So I'm going to probably buy a pack of them and try shooting one of them.
Yeah, you definitely got to experiment with the broadheads. Like I said, now another thing too, though, because when I used to do bows and set up people's bows and stuff like that, remember what I was talking to you about? The bolt could be flexing on you and not recovering in time because it's so fast. So you would have to go with a stiffer bolt. Like my 10-point, my Evo X's, my center punches are stiff, and they're only 16 inches because I have the compact Havoc. But there's so much force in that even that heavy arrow or bolt, it flexes. And you saw that when I showed you about the flexing, but it needs time to recover. You know what I mean? So it'll bend and then come back. But if you're shooting over 400 feet per second or 350 feet per second, if that bolt is too light, that it will flex and not recover. And so you'll get your movement back and forth, you know, left and right, whatever you have that way. And you can see that it's almost like when you paper tune your bow, you know, and all that good stuff. So definitely if your bolt or your broadhead is shooting better now, you can always go with a little bit heavier bolt, a little stiffer bolt. And I still would recommend that. But if your thing's flying correctly now after you shoot it and see that, I'd stay with it, but you can always go to that stiffer bolt and see if it recovers.
Now there's a couple broadheads that I tried, and I'm not even going to name them. But you could see they flew funky, and I had lighted knock on. You could see the knock was wavering and all that, but that Rage field point, it looks like they're shooting like darts. So I'm going to go with that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to shoot a couple real broadheads and see that hopefully that they're close to the practice point.
Yeah, and the way I look at it too, Chris, is you spend the money and get a couple broadheads. You're going to spend the money up front, but you're not
Yeah.
gonna lose the deer. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you hit,
Oh,
or like your son hit, and like you found it, thank God. But
yeah.
like Theo's deer, I wish he would have got that. That was a once in a lifetime, his biggest buck, and we lost it. But that was because he just trigger pulled it because everything was
Well,
good on that. You know what I mean?
I was going to get into that story. That's how I got into this.
Yeah.
Talking about the crossbow thing was
Mm-hmm.
I did actually
Yeah, it does
shoot.
make it quieter.
I did actually get a doe with that crossbow and that broadhead,
Mm-hmm.
but I ended up shooting that deer liver and gut. And I
Mm-hmm.
had to go down. I waited like 5 or 6 hours and went down
Yeah,
to
get
look
back down.
around, and I had to go back down and finish her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I got her, but man, I
Mm-hmm.
hate to see deer suffer. That just
Yeah.
tears me up. And yeah, I felt bad. I had to go down and finish her, but uh, I yeah, and that's how I figured out it was shooting so wacky,
Mm-hmm.
because I shot that deer, and I mean, granted, it was a 30-yard shot, but like I was on the armpit and it hit way back, liver gut.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
what the flip just happened?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely want to make sure that equipment's shooting well because that deer deserves that quick kill. You know what I mean?
Well, and I thought it was just a fluke. So
Mm-hmm.
I went back out looking for another doe. Okay. So I'm being honest here. I'm going to tell you my failure. Um, I had this big doe come in, and I'm hanging out the shanty window, and I let her get close, like 10 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the same thing to her, but I didn't hit anything. I opened her on the brisket.
Yeah.
I took some fur off of her, and she did bleed a little bit, but I seen her
Flesh
again.
wound.
Yeah,
Flesh wound.
she's totally fine. But
Mm-hmm.
that's how I realized that there was something wrong.
Because you were 10 yards away from her. And
Yeah,
it
it
did
was
that.
like 10 yards, and it hit her like that. They were good. They were flying real low right, and I mean, luckily I got the first one, but I thought, it's just a fluke. I'll just try another one, but I'll let one get really close, and it did the same exact thing. So I was like, dang, that's when I started talking to you. I'm like, what are you doing with your crossbow? Like, because mine's like, I'm ready to wrap this thing around a daggone tree. I was so frustrated, you know. And so
Mm-hmm.
I went out in the yard and started shooting broadheads, and I was like, oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, and I was like, just try your broadhead, try as many broadheads as you can and see the difference. And then I did suggest about that bolt being too
And
flexible.
it didn't matter if it was
Yeah.
field point or I'm sorry. It didn't matter if it was fixed point or expandable. They was all diving low right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what the crap? So I got that, like I said, I got that that practice point from the rage
Mm-hmm.
out and
From the
started
rage,
shooting
yeah.
it. And I just adjusted the scope right up to 0. And I mean, I was nailing bullseyes with that thing. So I'm hoping when I shoot
Yeah.
those broadheads,
It'll be really,
they're-
really close,
I'm
Chris.
hoping
Like,
they're really close.
yeah, because it
Because
has
like
that, it
I do
sticks out a
not
little on
want
the
to,
sides. You know
yeah,
what
a
I
little
mean?
bit.
And you should be fine. That's how
I do
your
not
actual
want to
broadhead
wound
is.
another deer. I
Yeah.
do not want to wound one. I'm so tired of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just so tired of that. But so yeah, that was me assuming
Yeah.
that broadheads will fly like a field point because that's their claim. They all claim that on their packaging. Flies like a field point. Yeah, it flies like a field point, but it doesn't go where a field point goes.
Yeah.
That's the distinction.
Yeah.
There ought to be they ought not to be able to write that on a package because it
It
duped the guy.
sells.
It duped a guy like me that should have known better probably from all the years
Yeah.
of bow hunting with a vertical bow, but
Mhm.
I had no idea.
Yep. Yep. Speed is overrated. Yeah, I believe that a lot of it's more.
Gilbait's building me up, man. He's making me feel
Chris is a
good.
good dude. Lord, I apologize. But Munchie says speed is overrated, and a lot of people are going back to the heavier arrow. It's quieter. It's
Yeah.
easier to control, and you do
My
have more
vertical bow,
impact.
I'm only shooting 273 feet a second.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah.
a it's a it's a bear status, which was a
Hmm.
flagship bow a couple years ago for them. And I shoot pretty heavy arrow out of it.
Hmm.
Um, but I have a real short draw too. So actually 273 for a 26-inch draw
Hmm.
is smoking,
Yeah,
really when it comes
and it's
down to it.
stiff,
Yeah,
because it's so short. You know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you don't find too many bows that shoot a 26-inch draw over 275. You don't
Yeah, no,
you don't
no.
see that. You got to have a longer draw than that, a
Hmm.
lot of times.
Yeah, a lot
But
of them
yeah,
people that are
I'm not
shooting
worried
over.
about not worried about the speed. I just wanted to go where I'm aiming, and that's what
Yeah.
really jerked my chain about that crossbow.
Hmm. Yeah, because you're like, the guys were saying it was a cheap crossbow. I'm like, that don't matter.
It don't matter.
Cheap crossbows shoot too. You know what I mean?
Look at how many people use Barnetts and stuff from
Yeah.
Walmart.
Hmm. Yep.
I mean, and they just
Yeah.
kill them one after another every year after
Yeah.
year.
It's
You
all in
know,
your equipment, how the equipment operates.
and you just got to know it. That's all.
Hmm.
Be proficient with it, and that's where I went wrong. I feel bad about it, but man, it
Hmm.
it took a few it took a few tries to realize it wasn't a fluke. There was something wrong.
Hmm.
So
Yep. Yeah, Matt says I don't do crossbow, but love the Schwackers. Yeah, well, Schwackers are a good one too. Bowtech's a great bow. I have a Bowtech. Oh, I have a diamond black ice bow
yeah,
made by Bowtech. But yeah, he has a 31-inch draw, so his arrows are flying out of there.
hmm
70 pounds, 31-inch draw. His Phil from Peterson's is probably smoking.
yeah,
Yeah, that Phil's bow's probably shooting like that crossbow that Matt just said he's shooting 393 with the
yeah.
G5s out of his crossbow.
Is that G5? Is that a fixed blade? Is that
Nah, the meat, it depend. I think
or is that like a meat seeker or
yeah,
something like
the dead meats. The
dead
dead
meats?
meats are they're 3 blade, I believe. Now they have 3 blade. They had 2 blades out. I used them all. I used them on tax with my bow. I used a
See,
lot of them.
this is
But
all
they,
new to me. I
yeah.
don't because I've been shooting rockets
Hmm.
almost my whole adult life.
That's because you live up there where there's no stores or nothing, so you don't know any better, Chris. You
I shot
you got
bears with rockets. I've got bears with
they
rockets.
don't make they don't have that kind of new merchandise up your way. You know what I mean?
Well, the worst thing they ever did is quit making the mini blaster.
Yeah,
That, that's just
yeah,
dumb. That was a nice, compact, tight
mhm,
shooting broadhead.
yeah,
Uh, Now they have these ones at Walmart. Those are the ones I was using as those siphons.
yeah.
And I mean, they're great out of my vertical bow, but I thought, well, if they work good out of my vertical bow, I'm going to try them in the crossbow.
Whole nother game, whole different,
Wrong idea.
whole nother world, buddy. Whole nother
Yep.
world.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and like people are like, oh yeah, my broadheads are awesome, this and that. As soon as you shoot one broadhead on a crossbow and it goes through that deer and into the ground, you might as well throw
See you,
that.
jailbait. Merry Christmas, brother.
See you, buddy. Thanks for coming in, Gary. But as soon as you shoot that one broadhead and you shoot it through a deer, mine's going 450, 460 feet per second. I go through the deer and into the ground. It goes almost up to the fletchings in the ground. That
Yeah.
broadhead is shot. I don't care what kind of broadhead it is. It's
Right.
it's done.
Right.
I don't shoot it
Well,
anymore.
I'm hoping I don't have to do any more now. I'm hoping once I shoot one of these rages that that's going to be
Yeah,
the
that'll
one that
be
I
it.
use forever,
Yep. Yep.
because once I find something that works, I stick with it. That's why I still shoot the rockets out of my verticals. You
Hmm.
know, I shot a lot of broadheads coming up, and man, I shot those rockets. I've killed.
What's up, Ray?
Hey, Ray, I've shot so many. I'm not bragging here. I'm just telling you that I've shot well over 100 deer with my bows,
Hmm.
and rockets probably shot 70 or 80 plus
Hmm.
of those deer.
Yeah, if you
And
if you like that broadhead, then that's what you go with.
oh man, they just I've shot through two shoulder blades and still buried it in a tree when it came out the exit. I mean, them things, they just like cut like butter, man. But like I said, they quit making the mini blaster.
Yeah.
All the good heads I used to shoot from them, they quit making, and now
Yeah.
they're doing all this new stuff with scooped tips and all this stuff, curved blades, and I'm like, what?
Well, it was funny because when I used to work at Gander Mountain, I used to have a full-time job and I'd work at Gander Mountain part-time, and I was in the archery department, and I would fix bows and string bows and all that stuff, and fix broken bows and all that stuff. And I have a diamond black ice bow, made by Bowtech. So it's like blue. It has some blue to it and all that. So I have all my stabilizers, like the blue and all this, crazy stuff. My string is black and blue and all that. Well, that's when G5 was out, and G5's colors are blue. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm shooting that broadhead just because of the color. Okay. So I ended up shooting that broadhead, but then I started working with Nate from G5. He's like the son. He was the son of him, and he's into it. Well, they started doing the old, their Montecs were powdered carbon steel, I guess, powder, and they pressed them and made the broadhead. Okay.
Yeah.
Like heat pressed them.
Yeah.
And when you sharpen them, you really had to sharpen them a long time to get them razor sharp. They were hard to sharpen because of the high carbon, I guess, in them or something, when you would use them on and I thought that'd be easy. So I was always talking to Nate about that stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'd use this certain rock, to do it with and all that, the stone and all that. So I started using them, and then you can put them flat and just push them. And that's how they got like razor sharp, and the Montecs. But then my bow was shooting, and they were planing because it was a little bit faster. So I went with their G5s, and it was, I can't remember their 2-blade, it was called back then when they first come out, but I started shooting them, and I was fine with those. And then I started shooting them into the ground, and the tips I was shooting deer, and the tip of the broadhead was bending over, like the chisel point was bending over, and I wasn't putting it in the ground. I was just shooting through the deer and hitting bone with it, and it was bending the tips. So I was asking him about that, and he was like, yeah, maybe they had some bad stuff or whatever. And they were great broadheads. I don't want to say anything, but then me with the bending of the broadheads, and then the shafts were bending a little bit on me. I just stopped using them, but they're still a great broadhead. Like I don't really want to say bad. They didn't work, but they worked great for me. And I just went for my head. On my head, I just went with the Rages, and then after the Rages, I went with the Beast broadheads. So I'm going back and forth. And 10 Point makes their own, called the center punch broadheads, and they recommended them too. Now they're just an 1 3/4 cut. They're pretty loose. There's nothing to them. But they have the chisel head. I don't use anything with a cutting tip with a razor blade on the front, because that makes a little bit of a plane as well. I go with either the hypodermic, the pinpoints, or I go with the Rages, the chisel points, or the hypodermics for the tripans like that. I don't like anything flat.
See, the ones I have the cutting point.
And you might see, and you might like it, you might not, but that the razor may give it a little.
Okay.
And if it flies good, then you're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, though, I got to buy a new pack and try the new ones, the no collars. I mean, I have some of the old ones that took a rubber band.
Yeah.
Or an O-ring. I guess it's an O-ring, So, but yeah, well, I don't know. Well, I'll have to do some more shooting when it gets warmer.
Yeah. And you still got to put them in, like Matt was saying, you can use a broadhead, any broadhead, and you still got to put it in the right spot. For
sure.
Now, do you remember the Spitfires? The NAP Spitfires? I've had them not open on me.
Well,
and I've shot little bullet holes through the deer, and I never got the deer from it.
That's the ones I wasn't going to mention it, but since you said it,
I'll say the Spitfire.
That was one of the ones that I shot out of the crossbow, and it went wonky, man. You could see it. It was fishtailing all over the place. And as a matter of fact, that one missed the target completely.
Yeah, the Spitfires never like I had one not open.
It dove down into the dirt.
Yeah, as soon as it didn't open on me, I was done with them. I'm done with it.
Dang, I ain't shooting that daggone thing.
Yeah. Yep.
It looked like crap coming off the bow, I was like,
yeah. Well, you should see that coming. Like when I shoot mine with my lighted Nox and I slow it down in the on my videos, that thing goes all kinds of wonky, but it corrects itself after about 10 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I've got a video out there that I slow mode.
and if you
Uh,
look, a lot of
com-
crossbows do that.
it was coming off my boy's crossbow, as a matter of fact, and it's only 345 feet a second.
Hmm.
And it came on. Oh my gosh, it it went every direction but backward. I think coming off that bow. I
Yeah,
mean, when
yeah.
I slowed it down, it was funky,
Twisting,
ugly. Oh, it
twisting,
was.
and
I don't even know how I killed that deer.
looks like looks like a knuckleball coming off of there. But
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
horrible.
important thing is it corrects itself quickly. It
Right.
has to correct itself. When it corrects itself, you know that's the right bolt. Now, another
Yeah.
thing that affects it is your fletchings and the
Oh,
way your fletchings are canted: 3 degree, 5 degree, 6 degree, helical, non-helical, straight. There's all kinds of different ways you can tune your bow with your fletchings as well. You could have a left helical, right helical, depending on what you want to do. Left-handed, if you look, their fletchings are left turn, and a righty bow, a righty archer is a right helical. So you get your arrow spinning two different ways. I mean, a lot of people don't know about that, but 3 degree, 4 degree, 7.5 degree. I mean, there's some crazy cants on that fletchings that'll
I
tune your bow in.
for vertical bow, I fletch my own arrows, and I have 1 degree fletch. That's it, or one
Uh-huh.
degree,
Yeah,
one
I'll
degree
do a
to the right.
three.
That's it.
I'll do a three. I'll do a straight three. That's
Because
what
I
I do on mine.
I fletched a lot of smaller fletchings for target.
Yeah, like
'Cause I,
blazers and stuff.
yeah, because
Blazers, yeah.
I used to shoot IBO.
You
So
used to shoot line jammers, probably. You had the
you know
big. Did
what?
you use the fat
You know
arrows?
what? I had fat arrows. I had 2512s though.
Okay.
See, then they came out with 26s and 27s. I
Yeah.
think they even had 28s now,
Yeah.
I
The line
think.
jammers were enormous, so you could hit
Yeah,
that
I
line and
I
get that.
did not shoot those big ones. I did
Okay.
shoot some 2512s for a while, but they
Yeah.
were so brittle.
Uh huh.
They were so brittle that even if a couple arrows shot tight to
Yeah.
each other, you would crease them or split them or something.
Yeah.
So I got away from all that,
Yeah.
and that's when I went out and bought Easton uh, ACCs.
I used to shoot the ACCs, the real thin ones, though.
Yes,
Hmm.
I shot the 318s. They're smaller than a pencil,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Why do you shoot them things?" I was like, "Because they go where I aim.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
don't care how big it is
Yep.
in
As long as
diameter, as
you're
long
hitting.
as it goes where I aim." You
Yep. For
know.
sure. For sure. Cool.
Okay.
So that's all your doe stories this year, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, as far as buck goes, I passed up some bucks in archery. Um, that I probably would have regretted shooting
Yeah.
because they were just too young yet to harvest.
Hmm.
So I let them walk. Um, One of them passed me today on the last day. I might have whacked one with the rifle, but
Hmm.
uh, the only other good encounter that I had was the opening day. I went to my big rut spot that I told you about. It's over the
Hmm.
river.
Hmm.
I don't make it back there often, but I went there, and on opening day, I did see a really good buck, and there was something across its vitals, and it just wasn't an ethical shot. So I waited it out, thinking that I might get the shot, but he turned, put his rear end to me, and walked straight away. So, well,
Yeah.
actually, he trotted away. So I didn't even get a chance at him.
It happens a
Um,
lot when they turn. Ain't that funny how they know when to turn
yeah,
and walk right away from
yep,
you?
yep. So then I uh, uh, went back a week later with the rifle, the second Saturday, and I walked around a little bit, and I did walk up on a bedded buck, and we saw each other at the same exact time. And you know how that goes. He was like a lightning bolt. He was up out of that bed and down through the valley, and I there was no opening, so I just followed him with the scope and watched him run away. And I walked down there and tried to track him a little bit in the snow and catch up to him, but he was long gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have a whole lot of buck stories to tell because like I didn't have any good ones to see. So
Yeah.
uh, I saw a lot of spikes chasing the does
Hmm.
around and stuff, and I know we're gonna get into that a little bit here.
Hmm.
Uh, about where the bucks are and
Yeah.
what does we're seeing and stuff like that. But yeah, a little spoiler alert. I think the little ones are doing most of the breeding. Just saying that now before we get into it.
Mm-hmm. Chris Matt said, I haven't admitted this, but I had a shoot through on a windy day. I tracked her for 400 yards. Every time I came up to a big blood spot, she was bedded 50 yards away and jumped and ran. Yeah, that's tough when you jump them, because you're probably not going to get them after you jump them for the first time, because they're going to run 10 miles and stop. You know what I mean? It's hard. And that's what happened with Theo's. But we didn't jump it. Any rattle antler stories? Yeah, I rattled the same deer in 3 times on the live. If you go over and watch the live, that 5-point came in 3 times. I rattled him this year. But the Bucks, my end of the story, Chris, this year was we had a really good season.
Yeah.
I was so excited for Theo. I was like, all right, we got all these bucks. I had 3 or 4 different bucks that were big deer that if Theo would have got one of those, it would have been hard to top. And we saw all the deer from the stand. He got a shot at a 10-point, like the first weekend we went out, and he nicked it low. And that was my bad, because it ended up being my crossbow with my string stretched. So I was shooting like an inch or 2 low at like 20 yards.
Okay.
So he hit low, and thank God he did hit it like that, because he just nicked it. Like you said, it just skinned it.
Yeah.
Couple drops of blood, and it went down over the hill, and that was it. And then we got it back on camera, so it was alive. Then we went out again, and he shot a really nice 10 that I had a picture of, and he hit it. I swear, Chris, you saw the shot. It should have been dead.
That's dead somewhere.
The way he walked away, that deer, the way he walked away, he walked and like was hobbling away, and I thought he was going to be down. So we gave him 6 hours. We came back up and walked in and seen blood to where he went in the woods, and when he got in the woods, it just stopped. So we looked around in that area a little bit. We did sort of like a quick scour around the property. I went down to the creek to see if he went down to the water.
Look at your ticker. You're welcoming Josh from Whitetail Driven Solutions.
Yeah, nice. I got to take the banner down.
Yeah,
that was from the last live.
That was from the last stream.
Well, let's take that offer.
Yeah.
So anyway,
sorry.
No, you're good. Good catch, because I didn't even pay attention.
I just looked down and saw it. I was like, what?
Yeah, definitely look at the live streams, Munchie, for sure.
But yeah, that deer's dead somewhere, guaranteed. Because that was actually a better shot, I think, than the one my boy hit. Yeah. And I find that one. So
I can't believe we didn't find that. So 6 hours went out.
I'll get a picture while you're talking. I'll get a picture of that one my boy shot.
Yeah. So I'll show the picture of the spot that he hit. And so we did the 6-hour thing, walked back up. And then as I was researching it, they're saying liver shot should be about 12 to 15 hours, which I was thinking 6 hours after he walked away was plenty. So this right here, guys, see that dot right there? That's where you hit the deer, right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there is the shot that he hit.
That was dead somewhere.
That was a beast broadhead. Okay. But you see how high that is? If you watch the video when he's walking away, stuff's hanging out low. So I think that beast broadhead hit a rib and deflected down low. I really think that's what happened to that. I thought he would have hit good, but when he was walking away, that right there deflected and it went down. And if it would have went straight through, I think it would have been a kill. I mean, he's dead, definitely. But if it would have went right there, went straight through, he would have been in a bed not far from where we were at. But it hit something, because as he walks away, if you look to the back right of him at the white line is where the stuff was like hanging out, like where you could see the blood and everything, like where the arrow came out. But if you look at the entry wound, like right there, it was way above that white line, his stomach line. So I think it got boom and hit. Yeah, the coyotes will eat it, but it wasn't on our property.
Here's a horrible picture of my kids, but that's where his was hit.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same exact shot that Theo put on his.
I think Theo's might have just been a hair higher, maybe.
Maybe.
But
Yeah,
you're right.
Well, that's what I told you. I said I think
Yeah.
Theo's hit was even better than my boys. And
Yeah.
then my boys, we find it 100 and maybe 200 yards away.
Yeah, but I think that thing deflected a little bit. It hit and went down.
Yeah.
If it would have went straight through, I think we would have found it in the bed. It's dead for sure, but it went out low at that like white line on the right side of him. If you watch the video, when you see him walking away, you'll see the red at the bottom, like of his, like almost his back leg low. And I think it deflected. Yeah, I really do. So 6 hours, went up there, looked for 2 hours, came back, came home, called the dog tracker, went back down at 7. So that was about 11 hours after he shot it. Went down at 7, looked for 4 hours, and he walked, he didn't walk the whole property. He walked the way he thought the deer went. And yes, after shot wound head. And definitely, let's see, he sent me a picture. Matt said he sent me a picture here. Hold on. Let's see. Boom, boom. Boom. Oh yeah, that's definitely far forward. See the forward shot there, Chris, on it above his shoulder. See the ball? That's almost where that 10 point that you saw that was shot down my place.
Yeah.
The 10 point was shot a little even higher than that.
Right.
So yeah, that's just all meat right there. Yeah, right above the shoulder. But so we looked for a while and then couldn't find it, and it walked off the property. Well, at least the dog went that way, and we come back, and that was it. So then I hunted again the next week myself, and I made it a point to walk the property again just to see if I could smell anything or see any kind of coyote. You know, like when you pull it and there's fur everywhere, and you can see like white belly up and stuff. So I went and I looked, and I couldn't find anything for that either. So I was pretty hurt because I really wanted him to get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So after that, Theo and I went back down, seen a couple smaller ones that he didn't even want to shoot. And then I went out again and I passed up an 8 point with my crossbow. He come in within 20 yards and turned and walked away. Like sort of, I think he caught a little bit of wind or something because he like jumped backwards. I could have shot him, but he walked away and I was like, he was bigger than the deer. You know, he was a nice deer. I should have shot him in a way, but he's going to be good next year if they make it. You know what I mean? Now, I haven't seen any of those bucks in rifle season here. You know what I mean? So that's the scary point. We're going to get into that a little bit here. But so then after that, we went on rifle. And since all of the deer that we've been seeing in archery, I was really excited for Theo to put his new 350 Legend to the test. And I thought for sure he's going to whack a deer, right? So we got down there first day of rifle, seen a bunch of small spikes and young fawn does. He ended up taking a younger doe because he wanted to shoot something, and I wasn't telling him not to. I want him to have fun and do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So I let him take a doe, but we've been seeing a lot of smaller bucks and fawn doe. And I talked to Josh before the last live, and I told him, but the property to the right of me, they are whacking all the woods out and they're making cattle fields for their cows, but they left a lot of stuff down. And what that does is that brings all that browse down to the deer's level. And right now, and I didn't even realize these numbers are like outstanding, like crazy, astonishing, is a deer's woody browse intake is no less than 50% of their diet. Now, in my area, Josh was talking about even being 70 or 80% of their diet. That's with the food plots, the hard mass, the soft mass, and the woody browse is still 50 to 70% of their diet.
Yeah.
And he said a deer never goes below 50% of their woody browse. They need that woody browse. So this time of year, we're not seeing the big bucks. I think they're over on that property bedding over there and browsing on all that new stuff that's down in front of their faces, which keeps them off our property because it's all fresh and new. We do have browse, don't get me wrong, but the new fresh stuff, when you have 1,000, 2,000 acres of all that stuff down, those deer can go in there, stay in there, and be out of harm's way and safe.
Oh, yeah.
So So that's where I think all these little bucks are coming out, because now they're ruling the roost around our property. They don't have to worry about those big bucks chasing them out, so they feel safe. So we got a multitude of spikes and 4 points, and they're all, I mean, when you got a 3-point bristling up at a spike in the front of your food plot, I mean, that's kind of like, it's fun to watch, but it's like,
Yeah.
come on, guys, like you're looking at like, okay, this little 3 points bristling up on a spike. It's like, it should be like a 10-point in there fighting an 8-point, but they're gone. So what I did was, we took Theo out first weekend. Theo and I went the second weekend, and that video just aired. And I went this today. This is the last day of the PA. And
Right.
as you could see the thumbnail, I tagged out today with a buck.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say I ain't going to say what I shot or anything, but you're going to have to watch the video. But I will tell you the story.
Don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it. So, and I told you, I think before, when I was going down yesterday, when I was driving down yesterday, was, my whole idea of going down there late is just to learn and see what the deer are doing. And I wasn't expecting to shoot anything, but it's last day. So I was like, well, I'm going to go down, sit in the stand all day, because the properties around me could be getting driven out and pushed. So something might come across. One of those bucks that we've been seeing may get bumped out and come back over there because they feel safe, because we have low pressure on our property.
Yeah.
So I was banking on that. And first light, I get up early. I went up last night and took all my stuff up. I took the bog pog up, and I took my heater up and some stuff up there last night around 6:30, 7 o'clock. I did kick some deer out up there because it was so loud. It was like walking on eggshells, walking up through that frozen leaves, and the dirt was like eggshells. It was so loud. So I walked up there last night. I did bump a big deer out of the food plot over by the pears. I didn't see it, but I heard it, but it bounded off, and it didn't break and run. It just bounded off and stopped. So I stopped there, and I sat there for like 5 to 10 minutes just listening. And I heard him walking back towards the right. So he was coming back into the plot, or he was staying there. I didn't spook him out of there. Mm-hmm. So then I get up to the stand, and I get up the ladder, and I hear a bunch of little deer running over the hill, unless it was a coyote, because we've seen some coyotes down there. So something went over the hill, and it sounded light, like it was a deer or like a coyote running. So I get up to my stand, and I can't get in because the lock's frozen. And my dad has a padlock on it.
Yeah.
So I got the lighter, and I light it. You know what I mean? And I lit my dad's lock up, and I got in. But I couldn't get in the gate either. But I did something a little different to the gate. I didn't use a lighter on the gate. I actually urinated on the lock, and that worked perfect. Perfect. It worked perfect. So I had to pee on the lock to get it to work, and then I had to take it up and clean it off. I rinsed it in Dawn dish liquid and rinsed it off, because there's some other guys that are going to be opening up that lock. So I did what I had. I did what I had to do. But that was, I think I told you last night, didn't I? Did I tell you I had to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
like,
hey,
I was messing with you. I was like, hey, just pee on it. And he's like, I'm going to.
Yeah, I was on the phone with you when that happened.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, man, that's survival. You have to get to the camp, So I did that, and I took the lock up with me, and I cleaned it off, and I let it dry overnight and stuff. And then when I left today, I put it back on. It worked perfectly. I sprayed it with a little WD-40, and we're good to go.
Now nobody wants to come to camp.
Yeah, no, but that's good. No hunting pressure, right?
Unless the gate's open already.
Yeah, unless the gate's open. So so I did that last night. I went up there, then I came back, and I had, I wish my son. The only regret I had was I wish my son was there today to shoot that deer, because it would have been nice for him to end the season with that. But he wants to go down late season. He wants to go down after with the crossbow again. So we're going to make sure I get down there for that, and so we're going to do that. And so I get up this morning, and I was like, I'm going to get up early because it's so loud. So I wanted to get up there, and I wanted to slowly walk up. So I did that. I got in my stand really nice, got in there, set everything up, put my gun on, got it all organized, opened the window up, and I'm sitting there, and it's getting light out enough to see the field because there was a little bit of a coating of snow, like really light dusting of snow up there on the top field. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I see a deer moving, and he's coming straight at me, but he's behind the tree, the pear tree that's there, that every deer goes to that thing pear tree. It's like a hub, a scrape hub for these deer. Well, she walked, because I put the scope on it. It was a doe. She was under there feeding on the pears that fell. And then she turned and she walked away and she went up the gas line. And that was it. So that was 6:45. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, that's a good start. And I'm waiting. 8 o'clock rolls around, nothing. 9 o'clock rolls around, nothing. 10 o'clock rolls around, nothing. And I'm like, what the heck, man? Like, but it's windy. It's about 10 mile an hour. It's a southwest wind, so it's blowing right almost into the bedding area where I'm at. I got the ozonics going. I'm sprayed down really well. And I throw the milkweed out of the window.
Yeah.
And the milkweed goes right, I think it's stuck to the pear tree. I mean, it went right to the pear tree. And I'm like, this ain't good. I blew the milkweed out and I watched it go all goofy.
Yeah.
And then it went boom, straight out. And it landed right. I think it hit the trunk of the pear tree. I'm like, that ain't good. So I'm sitting there. So about 10:30, I'm messing with my phone. And I'm looking at my phone like this. And I must have been there for a minute. And I look up and I see the doe there. Like she must have came down the gas line and I didn't see her. She come out and she's feeding there. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll start moving. Because the major times were from 7:30 to 9:30. So that major time was past, which I think the majors and the minors, I followed them all year. And I don't think any of them worked. And any of them were right. Okay. And I don't believe in that moon stuff either anymore. Just from last year and this year, I followed the moon religiously, and I don't believe in the moon thing at all. From experience from last year and this year. Now, it may work, it may not, but it didn't work for me. So I'm not really. I'm following. Now, the barometric pressure this year, when I followed that and seen it rise, and I did see movement. So I'm going to go more with the barometric pressure than anything. And weather trumps everything. In my eyes, weather trumps everything. Barometric pressure trumps everything. So this doe's feeding, and she walks to the right of me, and she's about 80 yards away to the right, and I can't see her now because she's behind like a tree and stuff. So every once in a while, I'd look at her. I'm on my phone messing with stuff, and I'm looking at her, and then all of a sudden, I just look at her, and she's looking to my left. So I'm watching her because you can tell a lot from a deer's reaction, and we've used that, and I showed Theo how to do that this year. I'm like, watch the deer and watch what they're looking at and how they're reacting. And you will know when another deer comes in the food plot or is coming into the food plot. So this year I was pointing stuff out to Theo, which was really cool. I'm like, watch that deer look. It's looking in the wood line. Would look in the wood line, you'd see a deer coming out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I said, that's what you got to do when these deer are out there. You're looking at them and reacting. And when that big 10-point come out that I got that short of where you said that it was shot. Yeah. That little doe was looking over there and did the old, they get like two legs in front of them and they stand straight up with their head and they look like a statue. And they're looking, and she took 2 steps forward. And then I looked over and I seen that 10-point coming. And she walked away out of his way and let him come in. So today, she sort of did the same thing. I seen her turn around and she's looking, and I'm looking over, but now I'm sitting in the shooting position. I'm not to the right, so I can't see to the left of me. All right, Matt, thanks for coming in.
See you, bud.
Yeah, I got to get up at 3:45 myself. And so I'm watching them, and nothing. And I look at her, and she takes a couple steps forward, and she does this. And then I look, and there's a 3-point standing there. So it came out to the left of me. I couldn't see it because of the shack. And it come out and it walked straight ahead of me. And I put the scope on it. I got the video of it. It walked out. So then I'm standing there and then I'm looking and I see her and she's not really paying too much attention. And I go and I'm like looking around and I look out the window and I'm looking and I don't see nothing. So then I'm standing there or sitting there. And then I happen to look up and I see this buck coming. He come out the same way that Spike did about 15 minutes later, 11 o'clock. And that's the time they're going to be moving during midday, during this cold weather. Like morning hunts aren't, I mean, you could throw away the morning hunts right now. You know what I mean? Because they're not moving in the morning. Hardly with these cold weather. You got to wait till that afternoon hunt. You're just going to booger them up if you go out in the mornings anymore. Like, it's still okay right now, but I would say more towards Christmas, you wouldn't even want to hunt the mornings anymore. They're going into that cold weather pattern where it's a feeding pattern back on the food. So you probably want to hunt mid-afternoon to evening. The morning hunts, unless you're getting them on camera in the morning and you can get in there without boogering them up, I would say evening hunts are about it after like in December. So I look and I see this buck coming out. I'm like, all right, he's got a rack and everything, and I'm watching it and I'm like, all right, I'm taking it. Well, it was 30 yards away, and I'm like, I'm not shooting it with a 300 Win Mag 30 yards away. So, and I was wondering, and I'm like, and I don't have the camera on it. So I'm like, oh man, I don't have the camera on. I got to turn the camera on, move it with my arm, get it, make sure it's in view. And I'm like, okay, he's walking on an angle, and I see the pear tree, and I know he's going to end up by the pear tree a little bit behind it. So I put the camera there, and I didn't zoom in on it. I left it out, and and I have that blog pug, which is so nice. One hand with the 300 Win Mag, and I got it on him. And so then I zoomed in, and then I'm like, all right, map, and I stopped him. And he stopped, but he was quartering away, and I put it right behind his last rib, and boom, let it go. And when he jumped, I knew he was done because, you know, when they run their tails up or their tails tucked, well, his tail was flapping like a old t-shirt, like, and you know, he was dead deer walking basically on that point. When their tails flapping like a t-shirt, you know they're done. So he ran into the woods, and I didn't zoom in, I was already zoomed in, and he ran into the woods, and I didn't know that he fell over until I rewatched the footage. And I was explaining to it in the video that you know, I don't know where he went to. I know he went in here. I'm going to go check it out. But then when I watched the footage again, I look and I zoomed in on the footage, and the deer leaving for the North Pole and getting ready for Christmas. Not this one. He's going to the other. He's going somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
going to the butcher.
So when I zoomed in, but I'm watching that deer, I'm looking and I could see him run, and I see his tail, and I see him fall backwards, and I seen his legs kick, and he was done. So I knew he was there. So I went in and I found him. So, but I'm not going to tell you what he was or anything. You know what he is. But the video will be coming out Wednesday of the last day success. So yeah, I was happy. And like I said, I was happy. I was ecstatic because everything worked out. And I thought I planned it to work out that way, but it didn't matter if I did or not, but I wasn't expecting it to work, and it did work out. Did he came in last day. I've never shot a deer last day of rifle. I don't even know if I've ever hunted last day of rifle. Huh. I didn't really have to, or I didn't want to, you know what I mean? Because it was so cold or anything. But lately I've been really getting out there and sitting, and I've been doing all day sits every time I've been out. I don't go out and come in, I stay out all day, no matter what time of the year it is. I'm out there all day. So it worked out great. I was ecstatic. But then when I got him, I was just thinking about Theo. I wish Theo was here, because he would have shot that deer and he would have filled his tag. And so I FaceTimed him. And I'm like, hey, I got one. He goes, did you get it? I said, yeah, of course I get it. And I'm like jagging around. I'm like, when I shoot, I get my deer, like jagging them. And I said, you know, I wish you were here and you could have shot him. And he said, Dad, I've been shooting them all year. I was like, whatever. So, yeah. So I was happy that he was cool with me getting a deer. And he was happy for me, and I was happy, and I filled the tag. Now I only have to worry about Theo late season and then my Ohio trip and try to get something. And right now down in Ohio, I'm only got does on my Tacticam. I just showed you. My buddy Bob just dumped out corn for me yesterday to keep it going. And the last dump that I did lasted 5 days, and I got one buck, and it would look like a 6 point. I mean, it was there. That was it. Now the first week of December, I showed you all them shooter bucks that I had down there. Yeah. And now I don't have a buck down there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have a theory. Like I said, they've all been laying and being nocturnal and that. And I was alluding to earlier that these young does are the ones that were born this year are now to the weight and the maturity enough to come into heat.
Yeah.
And they have been running around, and you get all these young bucks chasing. Mm-hmm. For the longest time, I hadn't been seeing mature does. So I knew that meant that a buck had these does chased somewhere
pinned
and
up
locked. Yeah, they were like locked down
in
again.
their secluded areas somewhere.
Yeah, because it's 28 days later, and they're back in heat again. So I
Yep.
knew that the big ones weren't coming around because they were being penned around, and all these little ones were just out and about all by themselves and stuff. And then I seen them start getting chased, and I was like, well, one of two things could happen: either I don't see any mature animals, or it's about to break loose. you know so it didn't break loose for me, but the big does did start coming back around. So it paid off for me tonight. Um,
That
like I
was
said,
that was a big doe.
it's a big doe.
Mature doe for sure.
She's probably not the biggest one I ever got, but
I still haven't seen a mature doe yet. Even today, I haven't seen that doe I saw was a year and a half. It was a fawn.
yeah,
I ain't
there
seen a big doe yet.
that was a whole group that came through. I think there was 5.
But I think that's what's happening. That them big doe or them bucks pushed them over to where that food is.
Yeah,
They corralled them and took them over there, and they will do that. They will push them deer out of the way, and all them little bucks that are there in my property, they're running the roost now, and they're having a great time because they're the
yeah,
dominant. I mean, when you, like I said, Chris, when you got a 3-point coming in and bristling up with his ears back, and
yeah.
the rack is no higher than my thumb. I mean,
Right.
that's telling you, okay, he's doing
Well,
that. If a big
Tuesday,
buck was around, he ain't doing that.
Tuesday night when I hunted the food plot, the first deer in the plot was a young buck.
Mm-hmm.
I seen it coming over my left shoulder, and it kept coming around me
Good night,
diagonally
Mom.
and ended up on my right hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Miss Bernie.
She
So,
make kibasi tonight. I can't wait to get my rings of kibasi.
oh boy,
They make homemade kibasi. It's been in the family forever, and my dad does it.
nice.
I should be doing it with them too, and I never do or have time. But I got to start making time to do it with them. I got to learn the recipe. I have a pretty good idea, but I need to get over there and
It'd be good.
make it with them. Yeah.
So yeah, that little buck was the first one in, and I thought, okay, cool, we got decoy, you know. So, because if you just have one deer out there, at least one deer, that tells the rest of them that it's cool. It's cool to
Yep.
come out. It's
Yeah. They
safe.
don't have to wait. They don't have to look around and be cautious because there's
Yeah,
one
and
already
you
out
know
there.
what? I'm thinking about getting a decoy.
Yeah. Put
I'm
it in the
thinking about
field.
it. Yep, I'm thinking about getting a
Yeah.
decoy.
I have
I've been
one. I have the Boss Buck down in Ohio, and I haven't used it for years.
I've been talking to more and more people about it, and the more I talk to people, they're like, "Yeah, I got one. I hunt over it." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"What? Have I been under a rock all these years, or what?"
Well, I told you, you
So
live up there. You don't even know there's decoys that even made a decoy.
I don't even know what day it is because I live up so far
you
north.
you got to follow the sun for the time. You got to look at the sun to see what time it is.
Oh boy. So
You're
you
still
gang.
using you're still using drills that look like the mixers, the old mixers. You got to reel it in and drill your wood out there with it.
Well,
You don't
right
use
now I don't
nails.
have a drill.
You don't use nails your way. You use the wooden dowel pins and beat them in.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the stuff. Yeah.
But yeah,
What
so
else you got? You got anything?
no, man, but I gotta go out and shovel snow and salt the sidewalk so I could
Yeah.
safely exit this morning at 3:45 or 4 o'clock this morning. So
Well, I
if
know
my
the wife.
kids and my wife can get out too, because I'm sure they'll be doing something tomorrow. So I
We
gotta
ate
get
a
out
late
there and shovel.
lunch. We had a late lunch, so now we're having a late dinner. So I'm gonna go eat something.
Wow, you are eating late.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I'll
Yeah,
be up
well,
for a while.
yeah, well, like I always say, Chris, it was just a spur of the moment. We were on the phone today, and I'm like, "Let's go live." You're like, "All right, let's do it." So we
Let's
did it.
do it. Let's
So
do it.
that's how it goes. But we'll be doing more coming up here. There's late season. There's
We got to
Ohio.
do some on my channel finally. I got to learn how to do this correctly.
All you got to do is let me know, and I'll show you how to
Yeah,
do it, man. We'll
yeah.
do
We're
it on
gonna
your
have to
channel for sure.
next live we'll do on my channel.
Yeah, let's do it on your
I
channel for
I got
sure.
to learn how to do that.
Yeah, let's
But,
do it.
yeah. So anybody in the chat, get over, and if you would, I ask for a Christmas present to me. Get over and subscribe there,
Let
and
me
then
share your stuff out before you leave.
we'll do some lives on my channel and get Ted on and get some other people in here maybe.
Yeah, let's I'll share your stuff real quick here on here so people could see it and they can subscribe to it. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be
Share,
awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
copy link, get over here, and then get into yours. And then in the chat here, I'm going to put Chris's link here down below. So if anybody's in here, please hit that. It's City Sticker Chris. I just put it in the chat. There's the link. So click on that and subscribe to Chris. Good night, everyone. New sub. Sharina is the new sub. Thank you, Sharina.
Right.
Appreciate it.
You. Thank you.
Like I say, Chris, thank you for coming in. We always have a good time.
Yeah.
You got to come up this year, do some more fishing for sure. But
oh, heck yeah.
It's still hunting season, man. We're almost.
You know what I found today? I was cleaning some stuff out, and I was looking, and there was a live that you did on the boat, and you sent me a spinnerbait.
Really?
I just found the spinnerbait today.
Nice. You never used it?
No, it's still in a box. One of them Yakamotos or something like that.
Gary Yamamoto.
Yamamoto, yeah.
Nice.
So
nice.
when I come up next, we're gonna try that sucker.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, so are you gonna be going out extended archery?
I am gonna try with the flintlock.
Can you shoot a buck with a flintlock extended?
Yes.
You can.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And if had I had the broadheads and crossbow thing figured out, I'd take the crossbow, but I'm going to try that flintlock. Now I've done real well in the past with muzzle loaders and flintlocks. Last year I had a very bad time. If you remember, I wounded 2 doe last year.
Yeah. I remember that.
Find them. I was about ready to wrap that gun around a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we talked about, I think it was the round ball thing and,
yeah.
I mean, shot placement is crucial. I know that.
Yeah.
So I can't blame the round ball totally, but yeah, I got some vacation time coming here. I might go buy some conicals or something like that and try shooting some of those and see how they shoot out of it.
Cool.
But I should have been doing this when it was warmer out.
Yeah. I'm going to be taking Theo down with the crossbow. Yeah.
I've just been so busy, man. I like I said, I should have been doing it this summer. I should have been shooting that thing, but it just life gets in the way, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
You know how it is with the kids. You're running them everywhere. You're doing stuff.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I know. It goes by fast too.
And
the
then
hunt season flew by.
I get up at 3 a.m. I work a 10-hour shift, and then I try to hunt at night.
Yeah.
People are asking me, how come you're not doing this? How come you're not doing that? I say, it's dark when I'm done doing anything.
Yeah.
And then I get a shower, eat dinner, and
you're
go
ready
to bed
for bed
again. Yeah.
Yep.
So like ever since September 29th, I haven't done anything,
I hear you.
Hunting season, like you said, it flew by, but like I was so busy for the last 2 months now.
Yep,
so
for sure.
After this extended season's over, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do.
Yeah.
My
wife some lives. We'll do some lives on your channel.
For sure. Well, the wife was going crazy tonight because I was flying around like an idiot, She's like, you're like a teenager running in and out of the house, all excited. I was like, well, I just shot a deer. I want to go get it before it gets dark. I don't want to be out there in the dark gutting a deer.
Yeah, awesome. That's
gutting
awesome.
and dragging. And luckily it was on my own property. So I just took the 4-wheeler down and took it.
Yeah. Nice.
So
what's happening, Ron? What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we're ending it now. But thanks for coming in, guys. Hit that like button, hit the hype if you can hype it, and share us out. And go over, get ready to watch my video of my last day success. On Wednesday, it'll be out. I'm going to edit it this week so I get it done. And then I got some product reviews. I got my rutcation from Ohio. I got 5 videos for that to come out as well. And I think I still have a hunt for me and my dad early in November. So all that stuff's coming out here real soon. So thanks for watching. Chris, thank you for being a guest again. And next time we'll do it on your channel, buddy. Go over and check out Chris's channel, City Sticker Chris. It's in the chat. And subscribe to him. And like I always say, guys, take a kid fishing or hunting. We'll preserve our sport, pass it on to future generations, and we will see you.
See ya. If you guys want to see that doe, hit my Instagram. Same call. City Sticker Chris.
City Sticker Chris on Instagram, guys.
Go check out that big doe I got today.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
See ya.